Chiwasu, what's up YouTube? Mr. Captain Falcon here for Deck Profile, and this is a deck profile of my Saffira lock deck. One thing to note before I start talking about this deck profile is that this is pre-next challengers, so we can't play Gale Dogra and our Herald of Rainbow Light, but I'll update you guys on that build once we get that stuff. But anyways, the deck profile, this deck's fairly fun to play. The goal of the deck is to make a untargetable Saffira that makes it so your opponent can't special summon. So not a win against most decks if you can pull it off, and even just one or the other makes it so it's very difficult for your opponent to play. The only thing we have to watch out for is this card right here, but we'll talk about that later. So, on to the deck profile. We have Triple Saffira. Saffira has 3 effects that can activate once per turn. During the end phase, the turn it was ritual summoned, or the turn it was a light monster sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, and this includes both players, so if they Veiler or if they Honest or something, you can activate your Saffira effect. So Saffira has 3 effects. The first one is to draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. That is the main effect we activate because it digs into our cards. It can set up our graveyards. Very good. Its second effect is not as relevant. It's to make your opponent discard 1 random card. That effect's very strong, but in this format where Shaddolls and Burning Abyss are the 2 top decks, they unfortunately get their effects from it too, so it's not as good. But it's cool making your opponent discard the tour guide that they just searched off Skarn. Our third effect is probably the thing that makes Saffira the most broken, is that you can add a light monster from your graveyard back to your hand. So this way we can loop our Honest and Veilers, we can get back Manjus and Saffira, and we can even get back BLS, which is really cool. And it's 2500 attack and 24 defense, so it's pretty solid in its own right. Then we play Triple Manju. This card just gets all our plays rolling, actually. It can search the missing combo piece, either the Ritual or the Ritual monster itself. But you normally search the Ritual spell if you don't have either of them, because you play preparations, so you play technically more monsters than you do spell cards. But just having one of these, even after you Ritual summon your Sphere, just adding another hymn is very strong. By discarding him, we can get more graveyard control. So, very strong card. Then we play Triple Mathematician. This card has a lot of uses. We have a lot of cards we can dump. It can dump our Djinn dudes, and it can dump just a whole bunch of things. So he's one combo. The stuff we dump off Mathematician is, or we can possibly dump off Mathematician, is 2 Skarm, or not 2 Skarm, 2 Shadow Dragon and 1 Skarm. Shadow Dragons basically play for the same reason why Burning Abyss plays it. It can clear vanities, it can clear main deck traps. They can stop our deck like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, which isn't as relevant. Skill Drain, I suppose. But Shadow Dragon has another cool use where if you discard it off Saffira, you can pop back row. If you use it to a ritual summon, you can pop back row. So that's very cool. Skarm. Normally we dump this off Mathematician first if we don't have any of her combo pieces, because we can search our 3 tour guide. Skarm's very strong, but normally if he's not in deck, he's not very good. We can send him to the graveyard using the ritual, but we can then face tour guide that way. Triple tour guide. Tour guide grabs either Skarm, but most of the time it grabs one of our 2 releasers or 2 demolishers. These cards these cards are actually what makes this deck very strong in itself. Demolisher makes it so your opponent can target your ritual monster when it's used for a ritual, and Releaser makes it so your opponent can't special summon. So if both these 2 together, your opponent cannot target Saffira, they can't special summon, which makes it very difficult. Another cool thing, they have the added bonus of while they're in the graveyard, if you ritual summon, you can banish these cards in the graveyard, and they are counted towards a ritual summon. So it's very good. Intangible Tour Guide makes it so you can just have a level 6 already. If you dump it off Mathematician, you have a level 6. So very good. But again, back to the Stormforth. This card's actually the bane of her existence. It doesn't target, so it gets around Demolisher, and you tribute summon, so he gets around Demolish or Releaser. So if you see this card, let's hope we can get rid of. We can hope to get rid of whatever comes out soon. So those are our level 3s, and then we play Triple Effect Veiler. and one Honest. These are our hand traps that we made. Veiler's fairly good this format. It stops Tour Guide, which is the main thing. It can stop Falco, which I suppose is another thing. It can stop opposing mathematicians. And we can add it back to our hand with the effect of Saffira. And Honest is loopable. You can also dump this off Mathematician to add it to your hand using Saffira. So that's very cool. And then just activating this over and over is pretty funny. Then we have our one BLS. BLS is just a free win card. We play so many darks and a lot of lights, and having Saffira just dumping cards into our graveyard constantly makes this very easy to summon. We can even tribute this away and add it back with Saffira, so it's very good. No Sorks though. I kind of felt that Sork was kind of cloggy in this build. It's not a bad card, but it just was always tend to be cloggy. Always tend to be cloggy. As for our spells now, we play Triple Hymn of Light. This is our ritual spell. You can tribute more than 6, so you can tribute our dragons, so that's very cool. And probably the best effect of this card is while it's in the graveyard, if a ritual monster is going to be destroyed, you can banish this card instead, and it can be for battle or card effect. So it makes it very difficult to deal with Saffira if it's untargetable and you can't special summon. It makes it so you can't Raigeki Saffira, makes it so you can't Dark Hole Saffira, makes it so you can't Torrential Bottomless, so the card comes out very safely. And then if you have multiples of this in your graveyard, they have to destroy multiple times, so very good. Now we have our one Allure Darkness and our triple Upstart Goblin. This is just to draw into our cards. I think to note, we play 41 cards, but I'm playing triple Upstart. You can take one out. I don't know why I'm playing 3, but it's still kind of funny. Upstart just lets us get into our cards. Life doesn't really matter in this deck, because if we get a untargetable, unspecial summonable monster, we normally win the game. And Allure, we can banish our Skarn, our dragon that we don't never want to draw, and Torghad if you have to. So just dig through your deck even faster. Then we play Triple Preparation of Rites. Unfortunately, this card was not reprinted in the 5Ds Legendary Collection, but this card is very strong. You can add a level 7 or lower ritual, and then from your deck to your hand, and then you can add a ritual spell card in your graveyard back to your hand. This card has a very cool play with the Djinn dudes. Even though him's better off in the graveyard, if you activate Preparation of Rites, if you tribute the Djinn dudes from your hand or field, you'll have 2 in your graveyard, so you can you can add a Saffira again, add back the him you just used, then make another Saffira that's untargetable and your opponent can't special summon. That's very strong. And otherwise, you can just add Saffira, so that itself is very good. And then for our 2 last spells, we play 2 MST. MST is mostly just to clear vanities. They can clear back row first too before we special summon our Saffira like Phoenix and Karma Cuts, so that's very good. And for our traps, we play 2 Phoenix Wings and triple Royal Decree. Phoenix Wing is because we play all the Djinn dudes. They do sometimes clog in our hands, so that's very good. And they can activate themselves while in their graveyard, so it's not minus. You can also trigger Saffira, so that's very good too. And the triple Royal Decree, this card and the special summon, the Vanity's Djinn makes it so it's very hard for your opponent to play. Decree plus Vanity's Djinn makes it so basically all the traps like Karma Cut, Phoenix Wing, Deep Prison, Ball Scan, even hit Saffira. So it's very strong. It's most of the time an auto win against Burning Abyss unless they play Shadow Dragon. So that's very good. For our extra deck, there's 2 cards that shouldn't be in here, which is 1 M7. This should be an Alucard or a Fortune Tune. This used to be in here when I used to play the build that topped, that played Kaius and stuff. Kaius and Sorks, but this card's much worse if you only play Saffira. It's not bad. You can add back Honest and you can potentially just game them, so. Then we play 1 Alucard. We should be playing 2, so I'm playing double Engineer instead. One of these Engineers should be a second Alucard, but Alucard's very good. Just going into Tour Guide, into the Djinn Dude, and popping back row, and then Ritual Summoning is very strong. You can also bait out a lot of cards with using Alucard, so they don't kill your Djinn Dude. And Engineer is fairly, actually, really good card in this deck. If we don't have our combo ready yet, we just sort of just sit on engineer until we do, and then that is the reasoning why there is for now too. But double Alucard is infinitely better than double engineer, so. Then we play one Nightmare Shark. Nightmare Sharks just wins us 3 games. You can potentially play 2, but you only summon Torghad. You can only summon Torghad 3 times, so it's not like Burning Abyss where it can just keep specialing them. One Acid Golem just to clear monsters that are too big. One Levier. Levier's pretty good in this deck. You can get back the Jin dudes that you banish. You can get back an Honest that you banish with BLS or something, so that's cool. One Leviathan Dragon. This card's just here so you can block Dante. Pumps up to 25, and Dante will have to crash with Leviathan if they choose not to kill it, or if they choose to kill it that turn. So that's fairly good. Then one Giga Brilliant. This card's awkwardly actually really good. This pumps up Saffira to 28, which makes it so it can run over Dante. It also can pump itself to 31, and it makes it so your opponent can't summon an Acid Golem and just run it over. So that's actually very strong. A 3100 Saffira that's untargetable and your opponent can't special summon is actually just like almost impossible to get over. And then for our 4s, we play Exciton, clears boards, and then we can summon Saffira. Castel, he's just a little bit better than 101 right now. Just bouncing cards for free is cool. Then one Lavalval Chain. This is probably the main one we can go into. Lavalval Chain dumps our Jin dudes that we don't have, or top decking a BLS or something. So, but this only happens if you have Manju, and then they don't decide to kill the Manju. So, fairly good. And then for our Sinkers that we never make is one Armory Arm, one Armades, and one Black Rose. The only one you make kind of in here is Armory Arm. Level 3 Deuce plus Valor, Manju plus Valor, Saffira plus Valor. But Armory Arm is the same reasoning as the Giga Brilliant. If you have a Saffira over 3000 attack, you win the game. So. And for our side deck, we play 2 Maxi, which I think is still pretty standard. 2 Crow. This card's it's okay. Just hitting cards in your opponent's graveyard so they can't do stuff is cool. Then we play our 3rd MST, just more to hit vanities and floodgates that people side in. 1 Chalice. This is mainly for Majesties and Vanities. You can opt to side 3 of these, which I think would be okay too, over 2 of Noblemen's of Crossout, which we also play. I think just playing more copies of Chalice is actually a little bit better than playing Knock, but Knock's pretty good in the zone, right? It hits Falco, hits Hedgehog, hits Beast. If you have one of their shit-all dudes, it's really saddening for them to see. Then we play 2 Breakthrough. This is the only reason why I'm not playing 3 Chalice right now. It does the same thing as Chalice, but you can use it twice. Then we play 2 Chain Disappearance. Chain Disappearance is for Burning Abyss. If you hit one of their monsters, whether it be Skarm, hopefully Torghad, Graph, it's very devastating for them. Then we play 2 Wiretap. This is for Burning Abyss and more of a side for Star Knight. Hitting Star Knight Alpha is very important. If you can hit Alpha, that means you probably won the game. But if they keep alphaing your card effects, it's very difficult to get over, so Wiretap to stop alpha. And finally, our last side deck card is 1 Soul Drain. This is both Shaddoll and Burning Abyss, which I think is really good. And there's not many cards in our deck that really gets hurt by it, except like Skarm and Mathematician, so card itself is very good. So that was a deck profile, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Yeah, it's a really fun deck. I think until like next challengers, there's not much else we can do with it. But if you guys have any suggestions down below, make sure to comment. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe, and peace out, YouTube.